President and CEO of Boys and Girls Clubs of America. I'm excited to invite you to a very special event, the Boys and Girls Club of North Mississippi's annual Dance Like the Stars Gala. It's a great time and a great event, and I can speak from experience. Several years ago, I was one of the participants, so I know you're going to enjoy this. It's happening on Saturday, July 19th at 6:30 p.m. at the Cadence Bank Arena. Visit www.bgcnms.org to get your tickets, and we'll see you at Dance Like the Stars.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 10.
And welcome to Mississippi Live Weather at 10. I'm meteorologist Gabe Maynor. I hope you've had a fantastic night, and I hope you're ready for another hot day moving into our Thursday. Taking a look at our headlines of the night as we take a look at the room-to-room weather center. We're taking a look right here. Update to the heat advisories. A few locations actually excluded on the heat advisories for tomorrow. Don't let that fool you. We still need hydration tomorrow, guys. But taking a look at the tropical system making landfall very soon. We're talking about Thursday morning, how that'll impact us moving forward into our weekend. We'll take a look at those rain chances. And I asked you guys, dry and hot or cooler with rain? And a few lightning strikes as well, as you can see behind there. But that's the big debate right now. And to be honest with you, it really wasn't a debate. But we'll see those results coming up here on Mississippi Live Weather at 10. So lots to discuss. Let's go ahead and get into it. First of those being this great camera down in Macon. Big thank you to the North Mississippi Storm Chasers for providing this. And I'm going to let it sit here. We weren't committed last time, but we're going to be committed tonight to get at least one strike, because you look at where Macon is. It's right in the heart of this storm, this thunderstorm that has been progressing through Noxubee County. That 10% we were talking about, here it is in full force. I'm pushing for it. Golly, I know when I change this camera. 76 degrees right now, feels like around 75, but that high dew point, just a sign of that moisture that's in the atmosphere. And I'm going to give it 5 more seconds. All right, tonight's not the night, and I know as soon as I change off, just watch it. You watch it, and you'll see it. So that's what we're tracking, is that thunderstorm down in Noxubee County. You can see this line that's basically formed all across the western side of Alabama, and I'll just draw it out for you to give you a visual. But basically, this western section of Alabama, and that same boundary is followed all the way down there towards Noxubee County, and even further than that. So this isolated activity towards Marion County, Franklin County, and then up into Florence, just basically riding Highway 43 up the northwest portion of Alabama. That's what we've been seeing primarily. So this is just one of the thunderstorms associated with that line, and more are on the way, as we do see more down towards Lauderdale County, I believe, and then Kemper County. You can see there DeKalb, Meridian, both seeing some high thunderstorm activity as well. But that line does not look nearly as impressive as it did even a couple scans ago. Watching this over the last 3 hours, you can see how it merged together, that cluster, and then split, and now is basically dissolving. That daytime heating, when you don't have it, that's all the fuel that you have. And so when that goes away, so do your storms. And so a lot of those dissipating out, even over and around making the lightning activity. I'm going to zoom in on that specifically. Let me jump to now. We're going to go to that storm and see how many strikes over the last few minutes. We're talking about 30 strikes total, when earlier it was producing a lot more. We're talking into the triple digits. So this storm, not nearly as impressive, but right over the heart of Macon right now in Sugar Lock. I'm going to zoom out, and we're going to do a storm track on this as it moves in that west-southwest direction at about 20 miles an hour. We'll walk you through all the way through Noxubee County, and you're seeing Golson closer to 1032. And then even on the south side of this, let me get those storms that are on the south end. There you go. So Calix 1006, Wahalak 1014, and Cypress Mill closer to about 1045. So that's what we're tracking. That's the extent of the moisture that we have here in North Mississippi. When we look at those threats, primarily going to be the heavy rain threat, as you're getting a lot of that, 2 inches an hour in some spots. As that continues to diminish, that number will as well. So not going to be 2 inches an hour forever. Might have some small hail with it, as we see in the heart of that storm, but overall, we're not seeing this nearly at the strength that it was So it was trying to intensify. It did intensify, but luckily stayed below severe limits and will continue to do so into the rest of our evening. But the next big thing is the heat. The heat is not going away anytime soon. Taking a look, we have those excessive heat advisories still in effect Thursday until 9 p.m. for all of North Mississippi, except for these counties down here. And the reason why is because Pickens, Noxubee, and Winston County are south of Highway 82, and that's really the primary area that we're watching for rainfall tomorrow that could bring in some rain cold air. So high temperatures not getting nearly as hot. But whenever we see these advisories in effect, we're talking about the heat indices. That's what it's all based on. So not actual temperatures. We're talking about the feels like values outside. 105 degrees for 2+ hours are an advisory, and the potential that we were seeing was a warning, which basically shows 110 degrees for any amount of time. And so with some of our model runs showing well over 110, but actually verifying that the National Weather Service felt that they didn't need to go warning just yet. Advisory sends enough of a message, and I do agree with that. Our message is sent, and it's going to be a day where we need to stay cool, we need to take frequent breaks, and of course stay hydrated throughout the day because we will be well over 105 for multiple hours, not just 2. So the first 12 showing you that this is the best temperatures that we get. 76 by 5 might drop to about 75 for a few specific locations, but climbing as we head into the rest of our morning, sunshine battling our atmosphere, and it's going to win. And 80 degrees by 8, 91 already by 11, so that hot and muggy forecast. If you don't go from 6 to 10, that's what we were talking about earlier. 6 to 10 is your time frame to get anything you need to get done outside. Beyond that, it's just going to be too miserable and sticky. So looking at that Mississippi Live Weather Radar, our next story, because of course we have a ton of them in Mississippi, is our low pressure center that we've been watching go through the Gulf, now about to make landfall there on the Louisiana coast towards New Orleans, and then Biloxi there towards Mississippi. Now it will probably go somewhere in this general range right here, but as it makes its way into our area and onto land, we'll see basically this track right here. And Caleb and I were discussing this behind the scenes, how we really agree on that track, even though some models are having it go different ways. A lot of them synonymous with each other, going in the same general direction. What this will do is a lot of these bands on the right side of the storm, whenever this moves north, will still be on the right side, and that'll build into North Mississippi. And that's where we could get our rain chances for Friday and Saturday. I say could, it's where we will get our rain chances for Friday and Saturday. It's just a matter of how much we get. That's the golden question. So let's go ahead and zoom this back out and head back up to North Mississippi, where we can track out these showers and storms as we head overnight. So you can see making landfall early hours of our Thursday. We're saying making landfall with a grain of salt because it's not making landfall as a typical tropical storm. It's not going to be a tropical storm. It's not even a tropical depression. It's just going to be a low pressure center, which basically has a lot of moisture with it, but it's not nearly the strength or the organization that we typically have with any of these tropical systems. It just hasn't had the time, and it's been battling a lot of land shear that hasn't allowed it to increase in strength. Fortunately, that's a good thing. And so we'll definitely take that and take a few showers, especially with the heat that we've been seeing. So seeing that make landfall, you can see those winds wrapping around that center. So that low pressure center, clear as day to be seen. So with all that moisture moving in from the Gulf, we can see a few showers move into our southernmost counties as that remains really on the southern extent of the state through tomorrow morning. That's that rain-cooled air we're talking about, and that's why those heat advisories, they lifted those 3 counties, was because of that rain-cooled air. Even by lunchtime to early afternoon, a lot of those rain bands making their way into southern Alabama and southern Mississippi. That cloud cover building just a bit, and you can see some of those bands reaching into that south of 82 corridor, Attala, Winston, Noxubee, and Pickens County. So paying attention to those specific locations as we head further into our Thursday, and that's why over the next 24, we do have those chances of rain, but it's not overly high on those chances of rain. We're talking 10 to maybe 20% at times. So this is not going to be a widespread impact event for your Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Different story. And that's what we're going to be talking about coming up in the next 60 is more on that forecast about, what are we going to see rainfall wise? What is the extent of that tropical moisture that we're going to do here in North Mississippi? And what we're also going to do in the next 60, you'll hear from a very special guest. And so we'll get to hear from him, how he's doing on his trip, and hopefully he's still enjoying that vacation. From what I hear, he is. So hear from him in the next 60. We'll go through the poll in the next 60. We'll go through the extended forecast in the next 60. Plenty of reason to stay. Just 1 minute away. We'll see you then.
You need some help?
Your tow chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire. I could show you how to secure them properly if you'd like.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Anytime. You should check out SmokeyBear.com. They've got a bunch of tips on wildfire prevention.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Even the mighty might not see it coming. It's prediabetes, and it captures 1 in 3 adults. But you can escape. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test to know where you stand and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Be your own hero on smartphones everywhere at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Well, hey there, Gabe. Hey, everybody. Another beautiful day up here in Canada. We are in Banff. Behind me, you can see the Bow River, which is an important river in this region. I just can't get over the color. And the other crazy thing about this is I record this here for you. It's 7 o'clock in the evening here, and you can see how high the sun up is there. I believe we're talking about a day with about 16 hours of sunlight, so we do get a little more sunlight up here than what we have down in Mississippi. But temperatures have been extremely nice today, only in the 60s. I know y'all have had heat advisories in effect for down there, so I'm not trying to rub it in, but we're expecting to get down the 40s for tonight, so a little bit chilly. But just wanted to check in, show you some of the beautiful vistas we have here, and hope everybody is doing okay back there in Mississippi. From Banff, Canada, I'm meteorologist Matt Lopp on Mississippi Live Weather.
Right now, from the Mississippi Live Weather Center, here's meteorologist Gabe Maynor.
Well, say hello to Matt Lopp out in the field doing some live reporting from Canada. Have you ever seen that before? Well, I've never been to Canada, so I haven't. But even down here, we are getting some beautiful sights as well. So, Matt, if you're watching, you are missing out on this action right in your hometown, right here in Tupelo. We were getting a great shot of a brief isolated shower. I mean, Caleb and I walked out the door to go grab dinner, and we were talking about isolated showers, and he said, well, here you go. Here's the 10%. That was exactly the case for us, because that 10% popped up right in downtown Tupelo and produced this great rainfall. But you can see the amount of rainfall that we got. Very heavy at times, puddling the ground. So fortunately, it wasn't too long or impactful, but definitely enough to cool us off just a bit. Bridget down in Anawaya getting a great shot of the thunderstorms that were moving through Kemper and Lauderdale County earlier. Just a great shot of that lightning. It was mainly cloud to cloud lightning, but some of that did strike down to the ground. So just one of those intense thunderstorms that those clusters merged together. That's where we get some on the stronger side. But fortunately, we did not get a severe thunderstorm warning. It was just a special weather statement for up to 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts. So right now, dissipating out, a great sign of what's to come. So thank you to Bridget for submitting that picture, and a big thank you to Matt once again for submitting that video. We're ready for you to come back, but we want you to enjoy vacation, right? So taking a look at that Mississippi Live Weather radar, you see those storms moving into Noxubee County, fizzling out along 45, so not going to last too much longer, but there's that boundary. I mean, you can see it. Let me go back a couple scans. And you can see that form right there, that leading edge, and you can see it extend all the way up into northwest Alabama. Still getting a lot of activity up there towards Florence and Lawrenceburg there in Alabama and Tennessee. But Marion and Franklin County could see a few more showers and storms develop. But whenever you lack that daytime heating, just more than likely, we're at the end of these shower chances for North Mississippi and northwest Alabama. A lot of those showers moving on into Tennessee. So that's a good thing for us, because it's a time where we need to sleep. We don't want to hear rumbles of thunder, and we're not going to hear that overnight. Looking at that storm in particular, just watch the lifespan over the past 3 hours. As it moved through Pickens County, definitely on the stronger side, and we saw that towards Livingston and York, this is down towards Meridian. My apologies, I thought we were on that storm up there. Follow the same trend though, moving in that southwest direction. So Aliceville, you can see it strengthened along Highway 14, and then once it moved into 45, basically crossed a boundary that didn't let it live too much longer. So Livingston and York went along I-20 down to Meridian, and now that one's starting to fizzle out as well there on the west side of Lauderdale County. So it's a good sign of things to come, because it's a drier forecast moving forward. Does not last forever, however, as we are tracking this bad boy down in the Gulf. Been lingering there for a while now and about to make landfall there towards Louisiana and New Orleans, moving in that general direction of that directly west and transitioning into a northwest and a north direction. That will have North Mississippi on the right side, and that would produce a few showers and storms where we are. So watching the positioning of this, because it will dictate our forecast moving forward. So day planner for our overnight hours and into tomorrow, staying on the drier side. And I say that with a grain of salt, because 10% chance that we see a few showers move in south of 82 tomorrow, associated with that tropical moisture. But heat, that is the name of the game as we head through the forecast. And you can see right here, 3 p.m., 96 degrees. It's just going to be that hot and muggy forecast. So definitely buckle up for a similar forecast to what we had even today. But let's go ahead and take it into the overnight hours. And you see There are a few showers that still try to form along that boundary. Again, it's a very uphill battle, and if these do form, it's just going to be a moderate shower. So not anything too significant, but enough to just have a good little overnight shower. It's best sleeping weather in my opinion. But as we head further into the night, those showers even fizzle out, so not expecting too much widespread rainfall and too much impactful rainfall. Early hours of our Thursday staying on the drier side, and low temperatures, they're staying on the warmer side. Mid to upper 70s across the region, dictating how it's going to be for the entire day because we're starting high and we're going to end high as well. Futurecast into the rest of our day shows you those showers moving in, well, first cloud cover building because of that moisture, but then showers moving in by early to mid-afternoon. We'll see right here, 10:30 on your screen into the noon hour. Noontime on your Thursday, those high-end cirrus clouds that are way high up in the atmosphere will develop, showing that moisture moving back into the forecast, that building from the Gulf. You see the winds right there, moving in from that southeasterly motion, so that's bringing in that Gulf moisture just like that. So 1:30, I would not be surprised to see a few isolated showers by then, but really by 3 to 5 o'clock, we'll see a few of those move into the area just a bit more. Still very isolated in nature, so that's why we have that very dry forecast. But into the rest of our late afternoon, early evening, there's the extent of the moisture. You can see it trying to form there towards Noxubee and Pickens County, building just a bit more north as we head through the rest of our evening, but that's the extent. It's not much. So high temperatures tomorrow, where those showers form, 91, 93, 92 in Winston, Noxubee, and Pickens County respectively. For the rest of us, mid to upper 90s with a few locations coming in with 98. So that hot forecast still in the still on the menu for tomorrow. Not mid 100s. 105 plus for tomorrow for a lot of locations for heat indices. 107 Houston, 108 here in Tupelo, 105 all the way north in Prentiss County, 107 in Alcorn County. That's a Tennessee state line. So no matter where you are, that heat definitely going to play a part in our forecast, but where that rain-cooled air happens, that's the one good thing we can take with that forecast is some showers will bring some brief relief. Now into our overnight hours on our Thursday, isolated showers still remain possible because that Gulf moisture, it packs a different kind of punch compared to just our regular frontal boundary. So that's why we're seeing the chances still happen overnight. And as we head into our Friday morning, by late morning, those showers are already picking up once again with some thunderstorm activity really building by early to mid-afternoon. You can see just moving in from the south and extending well into the north, moving in this northern motion with a southerly wind. Now, a few of these could be on the stronger side. We're talking 30 to 40 mile an hour wind gust, just a result of that tropical moisture. So it's not going to be severe thunderstorm worthy, but enough to at least pack a punch for our Friday afternoon. Beyond that, heading into our Saturday, conditions dry up just a bit, but with that southerly wind, will not take much to produce even more showers for your Saturday morning and afternoon. So high temperatures for your Friday. Taking a look here, this is a great sight to see compared to what we've been seeing the last 48 hours. Low 90s across the region with a few areas, Hamilton, Red Bay, Iuka, in the upper 80s. We'll take that, and we're not complaining one bit. And heat indices following that same trend, a few areas coming in with 95 in Red Bay, 98 down in Louisville, triple digits everywhere else, but not extreme triple digits. I can't believe I'm saying that because triple digits is still insane. But we're not talking 110 to 115. It's only 100 in Starkville, 101 in Columbus, 100 down in Macon. That's not a bad forecast compared to what we're getting tomorrow. And that's why heat advisories are still in place through 9 p.m. on our Thursday. So it's just going to be that active pattern temperature-wise and enough to make us stay hydrated, enough to make us stay in the air conditioner and take frequent breaks if need be. Still, our tropical development, as it is making landfall, it's not going to develop into even a depression. 40% chance of developing into a named storm over the next 2 days and 40% over the next 7. So basically the same confidence as yesterday, which is still pretty low, especially as we are just a couple hours away from that moving in to the New Orleans area. So tracking it out, this is what we're talking about with a few models trying to go through the heart of Mississippi. But overall, a lot of the models in agreement that it's going to move through Louisiana and Arkansas, which has us on that right side of the system, which is usually the most impactful for heavy rainfall and some gusty winds. So watching that, but the strength of it, not nearly impactful. So that's why I'm not overly concerned with this. Just going to be a nice afternoon of summer showers and thunderstorms. I say nice because there is a good thing with it. Saturday and Sunday, look at the high temperatures, low 90s. That's much better in our forecast. And honestly, looking into the future, that is something that we'll appreciate a lot because beyond that, when the moisture finally moves out Monday afternoon into Monday evening, and we really ramp up Tuesday, that heat just building more and more. I know it ends Wednesday with 97, but we could be talking Thursday, 98, and a few locations in the triple digits. So that forecast is continuing to warm up. but we do have that little break in between. So let's enjoy this weekend. Let's have the umbrella ready and the rain gear ready, but we are going to be cooling off just a bit over the next couple of days. Tomorrow, still hot, still muggy, but I'm talking beyond that. So lots to know in the forecast, and I do want to say, speaking of the forecast, you talked about me giving both of the hot and dry and the cooler and wet. Well, here's your poll results. Taking a look at that right there, I'm going to stand on this side so that way you can see who won, but this is the big debate tonight. Is it going to be, actually I'll just stand in the middle because you can't really see what it is. Hot and dry or cooler and rainy. And you see the results on your screen. I think this is recency bias. 16% saying hot and dry. Now, if it had been raining over and over again over the past couple of days, you guys, a lot more people would be saying hot and dry. But since it's been hot and dry, we're saying cooler and rainy with 84% overwhelmingly. And this is for like 1,000 votes. So if you've not submitted your vote, now's the time to do so. Let your voice be heard. If you are team cooler and rainy, let us know, because I've not found anyone on that team, or at least, hot and dry, because I've not found anyone on that team that wants to admit they're on that team. So let us know. This was a fun little conversation tonight, and if we have any other debates going forward, we'll be sure to post them, and you guys be sure to go vote. So thank you again for being a part of this. Thank you again for being a part of Mississippi Live Weather at 10. We'll be back here tomorrow night at 5, 6, and 10, so make sure to stay tuned for that and just enjoy the forecast going forward. And of course, have our app handy for the forecast, let you know when it's going to be raining and when it's hot and things like that. And of course, if you need the app, take a look on your screen right now, and you can see the QR codes on your screen, iOS and Android. Scan it with your phone, pull your phone out, it'll give you a couple seconds to do so. Scan it with your camera, and it'll take you directly to a link to download it today on your respected app store. So if that's Apple or Android, take you right there. But beyond that, we are on Roku still, working to get on every other streaming service to give as many people access to this as possible. We know this is a form of safety and a form of alerts, and we want you guys to stay as safe as possible. I know it's just heat tomorrow, but you know, severe weather happens in Mississippi at some point, and having as many ways to access this as possible will be key to us staying safe in the future. So speaking of staying safe, I appreciate you guys joining us tonight and getting the very latest on your forecast. We'll be back here at 5, 6, and 10 tomorrow with updates all throughout the day. And of course, we have a 24/7 live stream. Just tune into that and you'll get all the information you need. So have a great night, have a restful night, and stay cool tomorrow. Drink lots of water.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back. Dad! You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
March 24th, 2023 was a normal Friday. You know, we knew the weather was not good, but we needed to take shelter, and we didn't have shelter. My husband and almost 2-year-old daughter, Ethan and Riley, they did lose their lives in the storm. We're still recovering from it. We'll always be recovering from it. Matt Lawpon cares about the community. He's not just there to collect a paycheck. I feel like Matt Lawpon has proven himself trustworthy.